I mentioned this in the monologue, and I just the reason why I mentioned it in the monologue is because I think this is like one of the most pivotal points that could be made. When we talk about the difficulties of LDS singles life, and really, it's that faith is a principle of action, and so waiting upon the Lord is a principle of action. And these are the ideas that actually help you to endure the difficulties of LDS singles life with joy and rejoicing in your heart. That you're actually taking action. You're not just passively sitting by, marking time, as Feste from Shakespeare's Twelfth Night says, waiting for greatness to be thrust upon you. I mean, it's not like that at all. And President Ballard says as much. He says waiting upon the Lord does not imply biding one's time. You should never feel like you were in a waiting room. And I love that expression because isn't that a really good descriptor of how many singles have felt? They feel like we're in a waiting room because, we're so looking forward to making progress. And when you can't make progress, then, you start focusing on the obstacle and then your life feels yeah, tongue twister day, obfuscated. Your life feels obstructed because you're not able to make progress towards your eternal goals or toward, whatever goal it is that you want to make for yourself. And you can't get the goal, then you do feel frustrated. You feel like you're obstructed. And that's just not a really good reality to live with. But of course, as we've said often on the program, frustration is a sign you're going about something the wrong way. And so, a lot of us who are single, we're frustrated, we're not making any progress towards that marriage that we want to have in our lives. Well, let me tell you something. The way to get around that is by taking action. And the action you need to take is very specific. Okay, the action you need to take is very specific. And here's the action you need to take. You need to focus on what you can do because your focus determines your reality. So if you want to, create a reality in which you don't feel frustrated, then you need to focus on something that won't get you frustrated. Now, this doesn't mean that you just, ignore dating and you lay off of it. There's a proper way to approach that as well. And we've talked about that on the program. So, I'm not going to go into that here. But you can look, I mean, if you want to know more, you can look it up. There's plenty of, video clips on the Join the Journey Radio YouTube channel. There's plenty of past programs you can find on the website. You can access a lot of the past programs. If you join the membership zone, so become a JJ zoner, and you can get access to past programs. And not only that, but you can get early access to the next upcoming program on video. If you want the video portion, the full video portion of the program, then you need to become a JJ Zoner and join our little membership group. So, go to the website to learn more about that. But getting back to, this whole idea of, waiting, and this is the problem. It's like we're waiting. We're not, this is why we feel frustrated because the approach we're taking is we're just waiting for it to come to us. When really the approach we need to be taking is you got to take action. You got to take the action to make it happen. And so you've got to be working to make a contribution of yourself. And this is where a personal ministry comes into play because see, you can set goals for a personal ministry to making your own contribution to the world in which that goodness, that light that is uniquely you gets spread to others and helps them and inspires them and lifts them up. And you can make goals in that sense. And as you reach toward those goals and make progress toward those goals, then that can, in essence, substitute for the joy the satisfaction that you're looking for from the progress in the dating arena. It's a surrogate, so to speak. So it's not a substitution. In other words, it's not. I wouldn't call it I wouldn't call it an equivalent, in the sense that you've got two different paths you can follow, and each one of them is just as good as the other. I think we should always be looking for ways in which we can progress towards our next essential ordinance. And those of us who are not, presently sealed to a companion need to progress toward our next essential ordinance. And I just think we shouldn't ever give up on that. That said, it can be very frustrating, especially if you know, you don't have the right thinking about it. You're focused on the wrong things. And so, we really need to be looking at, how do we approach this more effectively? And that's where we talk about here on this program, where we talk about getting your mind right, getting your thinking right, adopting proper attitudes, proper assumptions, make sure your thinking is right. And then the action that comes out of that thinking then naturally leads towards, a reality that is more in line with what you really want to see in your life. And that's really where it all comes out to. So, you know, I would strongly recommend that if you're in this particular situation, that you take a step back. Take a step back. Take a step back and reevaluate how it is that you're approaching what it is you're going after. Really, I really do think that adopting a personal ministry is something that can help every single Latter-day Saint to, confront more effectively the challenges that he or she has in his or her life. I really do believe that.
Howdy peeps. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Join the Journey radio program. And if you did, be sure to click subscribe so you can get more clips in the future. And be sure to check out the Join the Journey radio program broadcast every Wednesday night on the Join the Journey radio network. Find more information at jointhejourneyradio.com.